Hey guys, welcome to episode 15 of The Hammer. With me, like always, is Seb and Savage.
How we doing?
Howdy.
So today we have basically same style show like we've done the last 2 weeks, except we're going to have a main topic and we're going to have the lab. We missed out on that last time. So you guys want to say anything before we get into the show?
Hi.
Congratulations, Furious Dolphin. Yeah, and let's get rolling.
Yeah, okay. So, like always, we're going to go into a week in review where we go over what we've done in the hobby in the previous week. Who wants to go first?
Ooh, pick me.
Okay, you have been picked.
Yeah. I finally got my 70 Assault Marines for the Blood Angels company that I've been working on. So I started putting them together.
And how many do you have together?
I have 26 backpacks. Yeah.
So, in a week, you put 26 backpacks together?
Hey, I have a full-time job, alright?
Fair enough.
But I'll
So-
definitely be working on that on the weekend.
So it's probably going to take you, 10 weeks to put together 70 Marines?
I was thinking more like 11, because I'd probably cut it out halfway, have a week off. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay,
Putting together jump packs is pretty big.
so, Seb.
I've finally got a army list ready for when we're going to get a game in, maybe after this or hopefully soon, so looking forward to that. I kind of sent Sarah out to get a stick and some double-sided tape so I could start painting, but that's not really happened yet. And other than that, I've been waystones deep in Eldar research.
Sounds good. Yeah, pretty boring week for me. I've just been painting up Space Wolves, so I'm probably about 85% done of this project, and once that's done, I can start something else. But right now, I'm just finishing the infantry. All of them have their armor painted and highlighted. It's just time to do the details, faces, hair, bolters, all that good stuff. So pretty boring, really. None of my own projects have been started. Have a tournament on the 26th of this month, so I need to paint up my 500 point list for that, so that should be interesting. That's about it, really.
You got 75% of your company done, do you say? You're
No,
monstering that.
No, I have a commission done for
right.
Space Wolves, so as you can see in this little box here, that's all the infantry for it, all the tanks, the Thunderwolf cavalry and all that have been done, so it's just that. Yeah, so I think that's good. So we'll go to news and rumors with Seb.
Bum, 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 bum.
The High Elves have been released today. We got into them quite a little bit last week, so we need to get into that, but they are now available as of today. Probably going to sell like hotcakes like the towel. In other news, Forgeworld have released some new things. There's some new Necron pylons. I think we've got a picture of those there. There's
yeah,
a
we
pylon with a heat cannon and a pylon with a death ray, designed by Stuart Williams. There's also a new Orc command from Forgeworld for Fantasy, which looks rather nice. And there's also the Realm of Battle Earthworks from Forgeworld, which are very nice. I think they're designed for Fantasy, but it looks perfectly, would work for either or. And while we're on Forgeworld, we've also got the Fulgrim model, the Primarch of the Emperor's Children, will be released at the Horus Heresy Weekender, which is Saturday the 18th and Sunday the 19th of May. There's going to be lots of things there, writers, seminars, themed games, and the new Fulgrim model available. But apparently tickets are running rather low, so get those if you want them. 18th and 19th of May.
Can I just add something in about the Fulgrim model?
Of course.
I'm kind of disappointed because I have a Fulgrim kind of count as model from I think Kabuki Miniatures, and it looks horrible compared to that picture of the Forgeworld one. So I'm kind of sad that I never got it finished in time. Because now, what am I going to do with it when I finish painting it? All I'm going to do is want to get the Forgeworld one, and no one's going to want to buy my one because the Forgeworld one looks better. So that was a waste of $60.
I'm sure yours looks very pretty.
I mean, it looks good. It's just not as good. So maybe when I finish painting it, someone will want to buy it off me. But I feel like I may have may have spent too long on this little project and it's cost me money. But no.
Oh, Geography seems excited about it. What kind of expression has yours got? Because the Forgeworld went for a more angry Angron style expression for Fulgrim because they couldn't quite capture Serenity. Which I thought
The
was
one that I
interesting.
have, he's just kind of standing there with his foot up on a little step, and he's kind of just looking off into the distance. So he doesn't look angry. He looks more
He's
relaxed.
checking out the Serenity.
Fair enough.
Alright, so that's all I want to add.
Okay, cool. Games Workshop, the special and collector ranges seem to be heading out. They're not going to be being made anymore. So that is Necromunda, Battlefleet Gothic, Epic, Mordheim, Warmaster, and Inquisitor. That seems to definitely, they're not going to be about anymore. It looks like they're going to sell them until they get rid of them, and then they will be gone. But we've heard that there's the mystery box coming in September, which could be Blood Bowl. But Savage, you were saying you don't think it's not going to be a presuming it's not going to be an actual Blood Bowl range. It's going to be a one-off box set for the anniversary.
Well, I was saying,
That's the thing.
not Savage.
Oh, did I say Savage?
Yeah.
I meant Toxic. I do apologise.
Yeah, I think some people, were saying that, is it going to be a reboot of the series, and definitely not. I was saying that before, and I think this just proves my point that if they are going to release Blood Bowl again, it's going to be a standalone box set with, maybe 2 to 4 teams, and that'll be it. But
Something for posterity.
yeah, but there's so much out there when it comes to Blood Bowl. There's whole websites that just have that just sell count as kind of alternative models for Blood Bowl. So it's Blood Bowl players shouldn't worry about it because they probably weren't using the Games Workshop stuff anyway.
That's true. And the rules and things like the Gork and Walker rules are all up on the internet. Like they're going to be on eBay and things. You probably will start finding them, but they may become rare, out of production.
Yeah,
bumped up eBay prices.
I wouldn't worry about it if Games Workshop stops selling the models. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I would highly presume that some company out there will start making models for it and market them as, I don't know, Gothic spaceships or something like that. Like, it's just going to open up the range for other companies to kind of make their models for that range. And most of those things, the rules are free online somewhere. So.
Well, you got like Firestorm Armada
Yeah.
and stuff like that as well. Anyway, that's.
There's alternatives.
And there's always these specialist games. They come and go and things as Games Workshop get excited or less excited about them.
Yeah, because the way I kind of looked at it is that how many people are actually playing these specialist games, and the people that I do know that play them, like Mordheim and what's the other one? Necromunda. They weren't using those models anyway. They would kit bash models from other lines and everything. So it's not as big deal as I think people are making it out to be. I think a lot of the people that are making a big deal out of it don't even play those specialist games. It's just all of a sudden, well, now the option is gone, and I think that's the big point about this is, the option of kind of playing it's gone. But at the end of the day, it's not really. The rules are still there. You can still get models from somewhere. It's just my opinion, I guess.
The more they get discontinued, it seems the easier it is to find the rules online. To be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's those. Unless there's anything else you guys want to add there.
No.
So we got Eldar Knights. We mentioned this a little bit in some of the Eldar stuff in previous weeks. But one of the reasons we keep hearing is the Eldar Codex is getting a walker of some type, roughly twice the mass of a Wraith Lord. So it's a huge type thing. I believe we've got a picture of the the huge destroyer from the 90s for a bit of perspective idea. But more intriguing, and several sources have mentioned that the kit walks on 4 legs, which it does very much indicate that it could be an Eldar Knight. Now, I had no idea what Eldar Knights was last time we were talking about this, but from reading the Path of the Eldar books and getting myself into the Eldar fluff, the Eldar Knights are they're basically Exodite Wraithguard constructions that are either the size of a Wraith Lord or bigger, and some of them are weird quadrupedal centaur type.
Yeah, well,
knights.
yeah. Last week we had the picture of all those old ones from like the Epic range, was it? And there was one that had it kind of looked like a centaur, from what I could tell. So yeah, it's because I mean the one I've got up now is just on 2 legs. I don't know if
that's the destroyer, but it is also very very similar to the Knight.
Yeah.
Night Titans. So yeah, so it looks like the Exodites are going to be getting more and more involved. So there's not been any rumours about the actual Dino Riders or Dragonflies or things, but that would be exciting if they were something to come up. So yeah, that's those. Oh, there's a new Horus Heresy audio drama, Honour to the Dead by Gav Thorpe. So it's continuing the whole Mark of Calth things that are going on. It's only 5-minute audio drama. Unfortunately, David Timpson's involved. But I'm sure that'll be alright. His voice does great, though. That'll be exciting. And the last thing that I kind of really wanted to get into is the fact that Faetit 212 is no more, which is really rather sad in many ways, because we got a great deal of our rumours for him just because he was so ridiculously up to date and constantly posting and having things that were way in advance of times. Yeah, almost years in advance sometimes, which is crazy. With the speculation of the new Warhammer Fantasy coming in 2015. But it's basically, the main issue is Google has taken down his blog from Blogspot at the request of Games Workshop, because basically he's been posting pictures of White Dwarf images before White Dwarf's been released. There's no real way to defend that, because it is illegal, and it is rather naughty him doing that. And if you believe some of the things that I've read online, that he has had a number of warnings, but at the end of the day, he is a huge resource for people finding out the rumours and things coming out with Warhammer, as well as the articles and blogs from around the world, connections he had with many other people. And at the end of the day, he was doing nothing to take away business from Games Workshop. That's the thing that I find very odd. Like, the law is the law, but all laws are kind of a bit odd to a certain extent. I don't kill people because it's illegal. I kill people because I don't want to kill people. But if you're a big company and someone's spending ridiculous amounts of money on your products and bringing your products and information to other people, making them spend ridiculous amounts of money, then maybe you should see that for the good thing that it is. I don't know, what do you guys think about this? I know this is a topic that divides opinion.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I think I've kind of seen people stick up for Games Workshop and be like, oh, well, it's their right, they can legally do it. Well, yeah, sure, but most of the stuff they do, it's their legal right to do it. That's the part that I don't like about it, is the people that are kind of swapping sides and going, well, I'll agree with Games Workshop this time. It's like, most of the things Games Workshop do, it's legal for them to do it. You don't stick up for them then. What's the difference now? I mean, and I'm sure lots of these people, they eat up the rumors. They like seeing the pictures of the White Dwarf release, and now you're going to stick up for Games Workshop? I have no problem with Games Workshop really doing that. Again, if they can legally do it. My biggest concern was just seeing the people's reaction to this. It was interesting for me. I was expecting to see a whole lot of people being like, oh, screw Games Workshop, and it kind of got the opposite response. There's a lot of people on Games Workshop's side for a change. Savage, you're smirking. What's on your mind?
It's stupid. Like, he wasn't making any money off the blog, was he? No? I
assume so. I mean, if you have a blog that's, the numbers that I saw on some article that I read, I don't know how true it was, but it was like 20 million hits or something like that. If
I
you're
saw
getting
that.
that many hits, you're probably going to have an ad, at least a Google ad, on your blog. I don't think I went on the blog directly. Um, you're, there's advertising money there, so he's probably making money somehow.
Oh,
You don't get that many views and don't make a profit on it.
Even then, still, like, he's getting that many views. Like, he's not, like Seb said, it's not taking away from Games Workshop's business. If anything, he's adding to it by getting people hyped up for it.
It's free advertising.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's free advertising for Games Workshop. And people love leaks. People love leaks and rumors and seeing stuff before it's released. People eat that up.
Yeah. That's the real thing that, like, bugs me with, like, Games Workshop is, like, they just, like, spring it on you, like, all at once. There's no, like, build up to it, so it's, like, exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just like, look here, here's all the stuff.
yeah. And then what I kind of wonder is how many people actually buy the White Dwarf to know about the latest things that are to know about the latest things that are coming up. Like, do you buy the White Dwarf so you know all the high elf stuff that's going to be coming out? Probably not.
But let's just get a bit more detail. But yeah. I knew what was coming in advance.
You're not buying it to know what's coming out because the advanced orders and everything are going to be, by the time the White Dwarf comes out, the advanced orders are up on the website. You go on the website and you can find out what's available.
All the pictures
well,
right there.
What's coming out is normally plastered on the front of White Dwarf as well.
Yeah, but as far as I can tell, like, if you buy the White Dwarf, you're not buying it to know what's going to be coming out in the future because they only release it a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
But
There's no build-up.
The releases in White Dwarf had the Loken and Abaddon model, and that's been out for a month or so now. So yeah, it's not even the new stuff that is in White Dwarf.
Yeah.
But I've still been buying White Dwarf, and I kind of started my Chaos Demons army based on the leaked Plague Drone pictures. So he's effectively got Games Workshop money from me.
Yeah, I mean, Games Workshop, give us more than a week to know what's coming out. Let us save up some money. Right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Not just that as well. It's like, well, you just, like, throw everything at you at once. Like, it's more interesting to, like, see hints and, like, little snippets, like, what you would see from rumors and things.
Yeah, that's what these news and, like, that's what, like, the news and rumors kind of does. It builds up hype.
Yeah,
you see a picture here and you see a picture there and you're like, okay, yeah, new Eldar is coming or new High Elves are coming. That's cool. I'm going to start saving money. For...
Yeah, it, like, builds you up. Whereas, like, Games Workshop, they spray it on you. You got a week to scrounge around, like, any money you can to, like, fucking get what models you want. Otherwise, they'll sell out because they don't know how to manage their stock.
It just seems something that big business just doesn't understand. Like, an online community constantly talking about and pushing your products.
Yeah.
In many ways, just helping you.
But
so much.
I think that's what it is that Games Workshop doesn't understand the online community. They don't understand that whole online aspect. I mean, they took down their main Games Workshop Facebook page because they were getting flamed, basically, of just, like, hate messages. And their whole response was, oh shit, let's just take down our Facebook page. Games Workshop, if you take down your page, it doesn't mean people are not angry at you. It just means they can't tell you. They're still going to be angry at you. It doesn't get rid of it. It doesn't fix the problem.
It's like
sticking your
kids when they
fingers in your
cover
ears,
their eyes.
La, 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 la.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids covering their eyes. Oh, can't get me if you can't see me.
Yeah, it's I think that's their problem, is they don't understand that whole online community aspect.
No, they really have, like, no idea how to manage anything online.
Just makes people really unhappy. Like, from the first or second week that I started doing the hammer, when we had the announcement about mini wargaming and stuff, I've had message after message, people saying, I just can't be doing the Games Workshop anymore. I'm not going to be buying any of their stuff anymore, and I don't think you should. I'm like, I've only just started. I know they're bastards, but I can't stop. But if you want to stop, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before. The whole reason why I don't stop is because I don't like Games Workshop at times, most of the time. But I like 40k, and I don't want to stop because it's such a big part of my life. I'm not just gonna stop that because that's a huge chunk of my life, and I like 40k. If I have to go through Games Workshop, so be it. Here's kind of a conspiracy thing I was kind of talking to Savage with earlier this week. Everything they're kind of doing is kind of to increase profits in the short term. Does this mean that increasing profits in the short term to make it a bit more appealing for another company to buy Games Workshop?
Ooh, that's interesting. There had a bit of a change of the shares. Had a bit of a swap round. People had more and people who have less. And it seems around the time that the shares changed, that's when some of these new policies came in.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden they're like, don't touch our stuff, don't look at our stuff. Like, just out of the blue, really.
Yeah.
And bringing out stuff every month. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But isn't that like something you'd do if you're going to sell your business, is to increase profits in the short term to make it more appealing for someone to come in and be like, oh, well, look at the profits it's making, and buy it?
Yeah, on paper.
Yeah, I mean...
we just make the entire fan base hate us, but yeah.
Oh, well, what do they matter if they sell the company, you know?
This is very true.
I'd welcome it, even if it's just to see if if it's gonna be better, or if I'm gonna end up, doing a Hammer episode where I'm just like hanging from the roof kind of thing.
That's the thing, though. If people are looking at the company just based on profits, you're probably not going to get people that give a rat's ass about what's going on with it. As long as at the end of the day they've got money in their pocket, they don't really care what they're doing with it.
You get like a Hasbro or Mattel or something like that, buying it up just to make toys or something like that. Get a Space Marine in your McDonald's Happy Meal.
Oh, Ultra Smurfs, that'd be awesome.
Disney 40k.
Yeah.
So we good to move on to the next segment?
Yeah. That's just hopefully with the reason rumors will keep flying, but that's just a bit of a blow with Fate 212 going.
Okay.
But moving on.
So our next topic is our main topic for this week, and it is we're going to talk about FAQs. Some of you may have noticed that Games Workshop has been, obviously they're releasing a lot more codexes more frequently, but they've also been doing a lot more FAQs more frequently. Rulebook FAQs, codex FAQs, a lot more frequently. Not as they used to, where they'd release a big one. They now they're releasing smaller ones with just little rules changes here and there. So we thought we'd kind of discuss that a little bit. So I'll throw it out to you guys. Our initial thoughts on FAQs. Whoever wants to take it first.
Well, I just sorry. It's my first real look at the FAQs for rules and things, but just so many of them just seem to be rewording things that don't even need to be reworded that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was comparing back and forth between the codex and the FAQ, and it's like it still says that. Sometimes I need to FAQ the FAQs.
Yeah, I think a big part about the rewording is to stop the rules lawyers out there turning a simple statement that everyone knows what the rule means, but they'll get it and they'll twist the words for what they want it to mean. And I think a lot of it is that Games Workshop will release an FAQ to change the wording just to stop people from twisting the wording.
Okay.
But I think that's it.
People still find some way to change it. Like, there's always going to be a way to change it to how they want it to be said, really.
Yeah, because there's a big difference between... Because if you're just playing friendly, a lot of the time, you're going to be playing basically kind of a common sense way of playing it. You'll come up to a rule and you'll just play it that way because in your head, that's how you feel that rule should be played. And then later on, you find out that rule is completely different, but you never really thought to check because... it didn't make sense. For instance, me and Savage used to play in 5th edition in area of terrain. If we were both in the same area of terrain, we always figured that it wouldn't grant cover saves because, well, you're both in the terrain. That just kind of made sense to us. Then we found out that it didn't matter if you were both in the area of terrain. You still got cover saves. And we're like, well, It's kind of odd, but whatever. That's the way it plays.
So you're effectively like both laying on a grassy knoll, trying to fire at each other.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the way we just kind of played it, and it was just kind of like a common sense thing. But yes, I think that anyway, getting kind of away from FAQs, but that's kind of the rewording. The way that I kind of see it is they just reword it to stop people twisting the rules. Savage, what's your thoughts on these constant FAQs, just a little bits here and there? Would you prefer it this way, or would you prefer it like, once a year you get this giant FAQ to plow through?
Honestly, I'd rather just not be FAQs and they just fucking read their stuff. Like, some of the things that you see that are just like, wouldn't you pick that up in like the proofreading stage? Like sentences and stuff that they're like missing words. Like, I can't remember which rulebook it was, but it was like one of the old ones, and there were so many things that just like, how could you not pick that up?
Yeah, I just don't think they have the right people in there for the playtesting. Get a couple of hardcore tournament players and let them playtest the rulebook. Let them playtest your army book. Just throw it out there and like make the cheesiest list you can, type of thing.
Yeah. Speaking of cheese, I want to mention Beasts of War cheese hunters. They're like the kind of guys that just go and reword the rules. Like, I love Beasts of War, but that show just
Well,
put me off
you can
so much.
talk that out in the Shamehammer.
Yeah.
But FAQs like I like it. It shows that they kind of seeing what people are saying on the forums, I guess. Although from what I can tell, they'll release an FAQ and they'll still miss things that people have been saying.
They notice things, but they should have picked that up before it was even released. Like, going back to like playtesting, like.
I mean, I don't know, because you're never gonna get everything. It doesn't matter how many times you look over it. Because a lot of the things with FAQs, it's about the rules that people will do something with the rules that there's no way that you could have picked that up, because you read the rules a certain way, someone else would read the rules in like a different way. I guess it's kind of like if you're a GM to an RPG, you set up the story, you have an idea of how things are going to go, but your players are going to find a completely different way to do that. And I think that's kind of how like Games Workshop will release a codex. They'll have an idea on their head of how people are going to use this army, but then people are going to find different ways to mess around with this codex, and then they'll have to make an FAQ to kind of tell people like, no, this is how you're meant to be playing it.
Well, that's where they should get like playtesters, like for like video games and stuff. They have.
Yeah, well,
like,
they do. Like, but how many can you get to get everything done? Like, how many playtesters are you going to pay? Like, what about if they leaked a copy of the codex, let the whole community go through this leaked version of it, have everyone kind of find out, the broken parts, then read the forums of people saying, oh, if this is real, this is just stupid, and then kind of go from that. Like, I mean, unless you release it to the whole community and have everyone like playtest it, it's
even then you could cut it out and like not leak it, just like have like a stupid tournament at Games Workshop, like one of the stores, and like have these different rules. Like, because you'd think like most people wouldn't be too wise about it, and they just think that it's like special rules for a tournament or something. I don't know.
What about if they did kind of what they called Fantasy Flight Games have been doing, and they've been releasing like a beta version of their rules that you can pay for a small price. Like, what if they released beta versions of codexes where it would cost you maybe $20 and you got like this beta version, like a PDF of the codex.
Even something like that.
And then you had like a forum where everyone can post what they like and don't like about it, and Games Workshop could then check. Yeah, because they're basically going to get $20 or whatever they price it at for this beta version, and then when the real version comes out, now they're going to get more money.
Well, that's
with
like
their hands.
Carry on.
I was like, with the hands over their ears and eyes, how are they going to see this forum and hear from
Well,
the playtesters?
that's it. They're not going to do it because then it also ruins the surprises that they seem to like pulling. When they're with their releases. But I mean, that sounds like a good idea to me. But
well, the thing that's so, like, the manager at the local games workshop where I am, I don't know, he was saying it while you were here, but he's always going on about like leaving feedback for Games Workshop and things like that on like pretty much anything that got released. If they're so keen on feedback, why don't they do something like that? Like send out beta versions.
yeah, he did keep on saying like email Games Workshop. They like feedback. They listen to you. They only listen to the good stuff.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I just think that FAQs, half of the things that are in them are just unnecessary. Like, it should have either been picked up or it just doesn't need to be changed.
But at least they're still flowing. Because if they were saving them up just to charge you 30 quid for a big hardback FAQ book, the things we got wrong.
Yeah. So any final words on FAQs before we move on?
I think I've said
Don't
what I
think
have
it's
to
going
say.
to change.
No, it's not, and I don't really see a problem with the way things are right now. They're releasing the FAQs fairly quickly, and whether they should be doing a better job checking before they release these books is, I guess, up for debate. But
Well, here's another suggestion that they won't listen to again, but like Games Workshop, not Games Workshop, EB Games or GameStop or whatever it is, wherever people live, has like the online like account thing that you have, and you like mark off like games and stuff that you own. Like, why doesn't Games Workshop take that and turn that into like, if you've got this codex or whatever, and then every time an FAQ gets released, they send you an email with the attached FAQ? Because I found like FAQs, you don't know when they're released, and then I'd be playing, and then like be playing with like Toxic or something. He's like, "Oh no, that changed in the FAQ." I'm like, I never knew there was one released.
yeah, I guess that's it. Again, it depends where you're playing. If you're big into the tournament scene, you're gonna know when these FAQs are coming out. If you're big at looking at forums, you're gonna know. Generally, the people that aren't gonna know are gonna be the more casual players, and it's not really gonna make a big difference to them. Yeah.
You just got made small and casual by Toxic. That's Savage. How do you feel?
A little enraged.
Well, I mean, if you're not, I mean, what does it matter? Like, if you're not keeping track of when the FAQs are coming out, you probably don't really care about them anyway.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though. But like, I didn't really care about FAQs and didn't pay attention, but you did. So then, I'd come and play a game with you, and you'd be like, "Oh no, that's different." And so halfway through a game, I'm finding out that actually does something different now, and it's pretty much completely useless for what I bought it for.
I don't think the FAQs are that
No,
serious.
but-
Like, when is something that actually changes it so much that you are not going to buy that unit because the rules have changed that differently? I mean, it's not that bad.
No, but like, it's still my point. I'm trying to get the point across. Is like,
No, I get it.
Whatever.
I get the point that they should be more prone to throwing it out there that they have made an FAQ for this. That they should be telling people a bit more rather than just kind of releasing them and being like, okay, they're released.
Yeah, well, they don't even say anything. It's just like a little whisper.
I mean, you could even just simply. I mean, I think everyone that's kind of brought something from Games Workshop, they have your email. They could just send an email out to everyone saying FAQs are being released. I don't know if they do or not. I don't really read Games Workshop emails because most of the time it's advertisements. So
I don't think they do, but they do send a lot of emails.
yeah, but they could even do that. Anyway, I think we'll move on because this is kind of going a little bit longer than it should. So
That's what she said.
no more final words. Okay, next.
I think we should move on.
Oh, this is my favorite part, right? Is this?
Shamehammer.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Shamehammer.
Okay, so we're gonna get this out of the way.
No, we're gonna talk about this for like 20
Sa-
minutes.
no.
Savage has brought something to the table for Shamehammer. I have to make
really
I have to make a disclaimer here. This is, you saw the questionable Eldar flyer last week. This week it's worse. It's I don't want to give anything away before we show the picture, but younger audiences may not be appropriate. So
Let me just say something. Is I didn't really want it on Shamehammer. I wanted this on Unit of the Week, but I
No,
wasn't allowed to have it.
you're not having this on
Emphasis-
Unit of the Week. It's not. If you want to talk about what this unit is on Unit of the Week, sure, but you want this because of its appearance. It's not about how it plays. There's no rules for this type of tank.
I can make up rules, alright?
Okay, so here's the picture, and I'll throw it over to Savage, and he can tell you why it's on Shamehammer or. But here we go. There you go, Savage. The picture's up.
I just realized what you could use it as. Is you could use it as a Blood Angel's Bile Predator with flamers. Because then you get a template. What did it
Oh.
be? Yeah, it's a Slanesh. Slanesh, right?
So what-
Yeah.
What brought you to this, to you, Savage? What made you, yeah?
Toxic actually
Need
showed
this.
me. What?
Yeah, I saw it when I was looking up Slanesh armies, and this kind of popped up. It's horrifying. It gets worse every time I look at this picture. But
I think that it's just the hirsute nature of the hair that really sets it off.
I don't understand why someone wants this in their army. Like, are you proud to show your army when you have like dick tanks like driving around?
You sound so angry.
I would be angry if someone brings this to the table. If I would not verse someone with this in their army, I just
Wait,
wouldn't.
so I shouldn't have bought that
It's
from that guy?
I think it's a little bit of a mockery.
You simply would refuse to play.
I mean, what is it? Like, is it a predator with no sponsons? With just an autocannon? Is it a rhino?
Giant things on the side, they could be the sponsons.
But how does this have to do with anything? I mean, like,
It's a perfect description of Slanesh from one of the blogs on Tumblr.
basically, yeah. I think what Fox said. It's 40k Tumblr right there in a unit.
Yeah. But yeah, no, honestly, if, like some random rocked up playing that, I would probably not play them either. I'd just be like, what's wrong with you?
You'd be scared, wouldn't you?
Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this picture now.
Seven
No.
hells. What am I to make of it?
Yeah.
Not with the size of that thing, I wouldn't be scared.
If it's a little bit bigger, you'd be scared of it.
Maybe a little bit.
So
You'll have
so when
veins on
when
it.
you try and kill that tank, you don't penetrate it. It penetrates you.
Well, it has like vagina things on the side, so as long as you hit it on the side armor, you can penetrate it.
Cannot be penetrated on the front armor.
Nope. And if you want to be really nasty, you can penetrate it in the back.
Well, what is on the back of that tank? We don't see the back picture.
We probably don't want to see the back picture.
Okay, so I've had enough of this tank. Anyone else have anything for Shamehammer?
It's not gonna win against it.
We were going to try and balance it, just Games Workshop's just policies and alienating their entire fan base, but I don't think that could anything can stand up to the penis tank of Slanesh.
Actually, no, that is a perfect model of Games Workshop. That perfectly represents Games Workshop in one of their own models.
It's very meta. It's a very meta piece.
Okay.
Do you have anything sensible to say, Toxic?
No.
I think we've upset him.
I think my Shamehammer is savage for wanting this on the show.
I'm just gonna say that I'm probably not gonna be on the show for the next 4 weeks because I'm not gonna be allowed to now because I managed to get this on here.
Yeah.
Your work is done.
We're probably gonna get this like episodes flagged on YouTube. It's gonna get removed. So if you want to watch this episode later, you're gonna have to go to any porn site to watch it. That's where we're gonna have to upload it. It's the only place that's gonna want it.
The Hammer After Dark.
I would not want to see the Hammer After Dark. Okay, so voting. We have Games Workshop being dicks, and we have a dick tank, and we have Savage. My vote's for Savage. Seb?
Oh, let's wait for Savage to vote. I'll come in last.
Okay.
So,
Savage, what's your vote? Dick tank?
Yeah, Dick Tank.
Okay.
yeah. I want to say Savage, but I'm gonna say Dick Tank. I think maybe Savage being taken by the Dick Tank gets both votes.
Well,
Technically,
it looks like chat wants Savage, so I think Savage is gonna be this target.
Hey. But I didn't put this on the show. I did not put the picture up. I just suggested it for Shamehammer, and someone else put the picture up.
Yeah, Toxic, you are in control.
I'm in
you
control,
didn't have
but
to show it.
If
You
I don't have
didn't have to
people-
show it. You didn't even have to mention
I'm in
it.
control and I pick Savage, so the whip hammer.
Hammer always sounds
did you-
so ridiculous.
Did you just slap me with the Dick Tank?
Next segment, unit of the week.
Unit of the week.
So we still don't have Seb in any of these pitches. Have to crack the whip on D-Rix to get some new pitches done. So
Well, you probably have to unchain her from the basement so she can actually draw.
we're not getting into that. So Seb, this is your unit of the week, and it's Screamers of Tzeentch. This artwork is who was it from again? Can you remember the name? I can't check, otherwise all my screen regions.
Caprotti,
Oh
I
yeah.
believe. But it has been in some of the codices at some point. I've definitely seen it before. So yeah, Screamers of Tzeentch. They are the magical creatures, or demons of Tzeentch. They are basically flying or hovering manta rays with teeth that scream and blow people's minds up with their screaming and eat them with their horrific, teethy claw things, which is always nice. But the thing about them makes them so awesome is the fact that they are jet bikes with a completely crazy slashing attack, where they can just launch themselves pretty much from one side of the board to the other. Is it up to 18 or 24?
Yeah,
inches, I
it's
think?
they get a movement in the. They get 12 and then 24, I think, or yeah. So it's something like 36 inches they can move it at maximum. And then if they want to do an assault, they have to they got to go a little bit slower, but they're crazy fast and they can just shred a tank. I mean, when I played games against Seb and his Screamers, they have destroyed my tank so badly that the tank blows up and actually hurts the Screamers. Like, that's how bad the tanks just die from these guys. Like, if these guys get to a tank, that tank's gone.
It's a D3 strength 4 AP hit, so it's serious. I'm using letters and numbers and
they have
sounding
like
I know what I'm talking about.
yeah, they basically have like a something strength melter bomb attack, I think, and they got like armor bang or something crazy like that. Where's my codex?
There's the Lamprey's Bite, which can substitute normal attack.
Yes,
for,
that's
melee
the
with armor bane.
Yeah, that's the one that you're going to be using against tanks, just because you want that armor bane or whatever the 2d6 on tanks. But yeah, that tank killers. I would put them up there with Scarabs in a Necron army for tank killers. I'm still gonna, I would say I like Scarab better personally, just because they're so unique in the way they kill tanks. But these guys would be probably definitely my second in the speed, their durability, and then the way they can take tanks down. I think really that's the only reason why you would take them. I mean, they can do other things, but where they specialize in is taking down tanks.
Yeah, but it's the way I use them, where I'm I go for a Nurgle base with just loads of plague bearers with a herald given all through no pain, and they're just going to be slowly walking towards objectives, and you're just going to have the screamers just flying around either side, just trying to take out tanks and basically getting to places and destroying things as quickly as they can. Because obviously plague bearers take a while to stroll up to wherever they want to get.
Yeah. I mean, me and Savage want to do a tactics video on fast attack, and that's basically what you want for your fast attack. Is you want this one unit that's extremely fast, and they can deal damage and just harass the enemy. They're not going to be capturing objectives. They're not going to be, really doing much except for trying to assassinate tanks. And that's what you want. They're fast. They're very good harassment units. What more can you ask from it? Savage, can I bring you in on something a little bit more serious talk, and you want to throw your opinion in on these guys?
Don't say anything about their movement being 12 inches.
I was going to say something about fast attack and things doing not much but one thing. But anyway.
Send in your applications if you want to be part of the show, because we may have an opening sometime soon.
Send your applications if you want to join my show. That's better than Toxic's show.
The doo-doo hammer.
Ew.
But yeah, because when it comes to things, anything that's not troop, you're kind of basing it off by how much damage it can do. And these guys can really do some damage for such a small points cost. Anything that's not troops that can't capture objectives, you can argue that you can buy a unit and have it just soak up shots and have people fire at it, and that's kind of its job, to take fire away from other parts of your army. I don't really subscribe to that train of thought, because I could get something that can deal damage and take fire. Why would I just have it to take fire? But yeah, these units are fairly cheap for, you throw it up against a Land Raider, and you can kill that Land Raider. And you've made its points back to one tank kill.
They kind of remind me of Scarabs from Necrons.
Yeah, I kind of said that already, but yeah.
Well,
but I wouldn't really use them to soak up stuff. They've only got the 2 wounds. They're more kind of incisive strikes.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't use them to soak up anything. But I just kind of throw it out there that they're, if it's not troop choices, you're really either going to soak up fire or kill stuff, and that definitely in the kill stuff camp.
Definitely, and just from an aesthetic point of view, I think they're a beautiful thing. There's been some incredible paint jobs I've seen on Tumblr and things. Some really nice effects on them, almost feathery, which is kind of odd. And the fact that their tail is basically a barbed brain. what more could you ask for?
Yeah, and they're a nice unit, definitely. So, I mean, if I had demons, I'd have them in my army. So, sure.
Yeah, definitely my next purchase.
So, anything to say? Any final words on Screamers?
Nasty.
Okay.
I had to say something.
So, next up we have the lab, which we didn't have last week, but this week we will. We're kind of going into detail with some of the rules that were rumored. They were rumors, yes, or at least leaks or something.
They were rumors. They rumors and or leaks. Yeah, from
of rules that are in the latest Imperial Armour book, Imperial Armour 12, I believe.
The Fall of Orpheus.
Yep. So we kind of picked a rule each to kind of go over. I'll throw you over to Seb first, and he'll tell you his rule. So.
Okay. I just quite liked the Death Corps Warlord table. I just it made me think about all the fluffy reasons and the sort of character of the Warlord and how they would affect. So I sort of just run through the table quickly. So 1, the Warlord and all Death Corps units within 12 inches add a +1 to their charge roll. So essentially he's particularly vocal and inspiring to those around him as he charges. On the 2, the Warlord, while he's alive, he can select a single unit within 6 inches of them in the shooting phase, and they get the Ordnance special rule and counts as having twin linked. So he's got a particular favourite unit that he graces with twin linked flashlights. On the for a roll of 3, the Warlord and units within 3 inches of objective gain fearless and feel no pain 6+. So I just imagine him bellowing fiercely at his men and exclaiming so that the objective's been taken, and his men are so rapt and zealous at his words that they're suddenly fearless and have fear no pain. 4, he can auto-put night fighting out on its turn, so I imagine that he's a leader that fights in the shade, like Leonidas from Sparta. He maybe comes from some kind of nocturnal world and plans those encounters thusly. For roll of 5 is a Warlord and any Deathcore units within 60 inches of gain preferred enemy. Any Warlord and Deathcore units within 6 inches gain preferred enemy infantry when in enemy deployment zone. Again, his rousing speech galvanizes his men as they get into enemy territory and fight even harder for it, allowing them to do their rerolls. And for 6, he nominates a single piece of terrain in an enemy deployment zone, but cover save is lowered by 1. So for this, I would imagine that he has spotters and scouts out who have probably died gleaning the information, but it then allows his men to have more precise disposition and nature of a piece of enemy terrain. So, yeah, therefore helping them lower the saves. So, yeah, I just thought, depending on how you roll, it could just change a big bit about how your actual leader is and how he acts.
Yeah, no, I definitely like that Death Corps Warlord table. I was actually kind of disappointed when I was looking over the rules and rumors on Death Corps. I thought there might have been some more. So I actually did my own research for a change and looked up even more rules for the Death Corps, because they're my favorite Imperial Guard regiment that I love to hate. I like the look of them. I like their rules. Not so much of a fan on their backstory. Don't really like how they they don't have names. They go by numbers. They're willing to throw their lives and just kind of be in the meat grinder. Because the thing I like about Imperial Guard is they have that kind of human face to them that you can, they're willing to die, but they kind of value life and stuff. So that's the part I don't like about Death Corps. But I do love these rules and the fact that there's just so many that add to the fluff. I saw they also get some commands and orders. That's the word. They get new orders depending on if they're depending on their rank. But some of them basically just they make them seem like they're more of this close combat kind of fix bayonets and charge into battle kind of army that they are. Would you agree with that, Seb? That they kind of like the rules kind of portray them, closer to the fluff as this kind of like charge bayonets kind of army.
Definitely, I think. Well, all the rules you're saying with the objectives thing, the new commands and things, it's all very, very, very fluffy for how they operate. And like you said, the Imperial Guard are always being thrown in for attrition, but the Death Corps Crees are just even more excited to get their bayonets and get stuck in. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, my rule that I picked was, and I kind of hate to pick this rule because I don't really like the Necron Flyer, but I have to kind of give it to the Necron Flyer. Just by its sheer devastation, I kind of looked over the Necron rules. Honestly, I don't like them. I feel like they're kind of weaker than the Codex counterpart. I know that Seb likes the Scarabs, but the part that I like about the Scarabs and the Necron Codex is gone. The Canoptic Strike, Entropic Strike, it's gone, and now they have Shred and Rending, but yeah, no Entropic Strike, so that's the part that I liked about them. So, but yeah, the Necron Nitrile Bomber, 225 points, 12 armor all around, 4 hull points. That right there is a solid flyer. That's a flying tank right there. 5 Death Sphere bombs, large blast, strength 10, AP1, blind and pinning. That's as strong as you can get a gun in the game. Strength 10, AP1. You don't get stronger than strength 10, AP1 in the core rulebook. And then add on blind and pinning. That's awesome. It's a heavy support choice, so you can spam even more flyers. Get your dedicated transport flyers, and now you got your heavy support flyers. So that's what I don't like about it, because I don't really like Necron flyers, but just because they're spammed. But I mean, that right there, 5 strength 10 AP1 blind pinning, large blast templates on a 12 armor all round 4 hull point flyer. You know, that's just devastating, and that's why I had to give it. Give it to the Necron flyer.
Raining pain.
I think I might have a picture of it somewhere if I can find my tab. Oh yeah, this is what we're talking about, by the way, the Imperial Armour Volume 12, and that's a top-down view of the Necron flyer. The one on the left, I believe, is the one I was talking about. The one on the right is the original one. So, Savage, what about you? What's the rule that you picked?
Oh, am I included in this again?
Well, you don't have to be if you don't want to.
Sorry, I didn't know I was allowed to talk.
Wait, you're not allowed to talk yet. I just want to speak on that Cylon Raider part. If you actually look at the Battlefleet Gothic stuff for Necrons, they have the same crescent shape, which I believe is before the new... Because the Cylon Raiders, they got that crescent shape in the new Battlestar Galactica, right? The old ones look more like a UFO. So, like, Games Workshop has actually been using the crescent-shaped flyers for Necrons for a while. It's just now they're more in there because they're actually in the real game. So,
I smell a Cylon.
So I will defend that from being a straight rip-off from a Cylon, because they have been using that crescent shape before. So anyway, Savage, yes, you can talk now.
So I can actually. I'm good. Don't want to. No.
Well,
Good?
you can talk. I mean, it's just you don't really seem to add much when we talk about actual rules.
Hey, I think I led that FAQ chat before.
We weren't talking about actual rules, though, were we?
Yeah, we were.
No, we're
Changing
just
of
talking
rules.
about how we felt about FAQs.
Yeah, but what do FAQs
Now,
do?
ladies, let's not fight.
Hey!
No,
You're the one that ran away!
no, we have to fight. It's
Sibling rivalry.
yes, Savage is basically my brother, so you know that's what
You're killing me over here.
sibling rivalry. So anyway, you can talk now.
You sure?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I picked the Death Corpse of Krieg Warlord. Oh wait, did we already do that? No, I picked the Necron Tomb Citadel, which is a fortification for the Necrons, which, well, it's actually 2 buildings that are both 14 all round. But on the damage chart, if you, instead of a 6 up to destroy it, it's a 5 up. It's like 300 points, so it's nearly like double. Oh no, it's not double Fortress Redemption, but it's more
like
than that
50
anyway.
points more, I think.
Yeah.
Or 100 points, or something like that.
Yeah, but you can also dock monoliths on there, correct? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's the tile that Forgeworld released. I think that's what it is. And you can you can kind of dock a monolith or dock a pylon there, and it gets bonuses to its strength, correct?
Yeah, it has a Eternity Gate and Scarab Hive. I'm guessing there's special rules.
Yeah, Scarab Hive I think spawns scarabs.
Yeah, and you can docked monolith or sentry pylon fire with +1 to their strength. If destroyed, the whatever's docked on there takes a strength 10 AP2 hit to it. But I'm just excited because it's fortifications for other armies other than the Imperium. For once.
Yeah, I think that's the awesome part about it, is it's a fortification for Necrons. And from what I can tell, it basically turns a whole tile of the board into kind of a Necron tomb world, and that's kind of awesome. I find.
It does. It's kind of disappointing that it's not in the core 40k rules, but like you can still use this, correct though? But then you have to take all the other rules with it.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, I mean, obviously we don't have the book in our hands, but as far as I can tell, that's part of the new Necron army list that they have in the Imperial Armour. However, it does say you can take Codex Necron's allies, or you can take that army list as allies for your Codex Necrons. Obviously, you can't take the fortification if they're allies for your original Necron army, but yeah, I mean, technically you don't even have to have it as part of your army if you just want to use those rules as part of the terrain.
Yeah,
you don't have
in
to
a
take
friendly match.
you don't have to take fortifications in your army. Technically, you could have it in the center of the board, and then whoever gets to it first can use it.
Yeah,
That's
even in like a friendly match anyway, you could probably just use it, pay the points for it, and just use it with your normal Necrons.
And really, that's what the Imperial Armour book is going to be about: is more friendly matches than a tournament scene. Because most of the time, Forgeworld can't even be in tournaments. So
Really?
yeah,
I didn't realise that.
most of the time, Forgeworld units are banned in tournaments. So, but what do you think, Seb, of the fortification itself?
It's a very pretty looking thing. It's an awesome idea. I've not really toyed with the idea of using any fortifications or things yet, but I just like the idea that you were discussing a minute ago of just having it as just a generic part of the terrain, and whoever gets there first can take advantage of it.
Yeah, because I think that's what people forget about fortifications, is that just because your enemy has taken the fortification doesn't mean you can't, get your troops, kill the guys, and take over your enemy's fortification. They buy it as part of their army, but it basically becomes part of the terrain. You can go into someone's defense line, wipe them out, and take over the turret and start shooting it at their army. You can go to someone's bastion, kill the guys inside, and take over the bastion if you want to.
And you would have that weird battle as you get into the bastion, where both as you get behind the barricades to fight people, you're both using the barricades for cover. Which is still a very odd thing for me to get my head around.
I think it might have changed now, that rule, actually. I think in 6th edition, I think you might actually have to have things kind of blocking line of sight to get cover, but I'm not entirely sure. So I won't say too much about it in case I'm wrong.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's like that though, unless it's like area of terrain or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of still a little bit slow on 6th edition just because I haven't played as many games in 6th edition. But so we're gonna want to add anything more in the lab when we're looking at kind of our favorite rules in the new Imperial Armour book.
Just like to see more fortifications. Like,
Yeah.
as a big thing is, it'd be nice to see different like armies, like Eldar get like a webway and things like that. It just adds a lot more to the game.
I mean, wouldn't it be cool if Forgeworld did release tiles for every army? Because even an Imperial tile would be cool. Like an Imperial Guard one. Like, sure, Imperial Guard and Space Marines have all these fortifications, but it would still be kind of cool for them to get a tile as well.
Yeah, you'd have like little like bunkers and stuff like that.
Have a Tyranid one with capillary towers and everything.
Yeah,
Maybe like a big gaunt spawner or something like that. Why don't we just turn the tabletop into Dawn of War? Have your little fortresses and they build units and stuff.
That would definitely be interesting.
or even go back to the idea that you had Toxic like ages ago of you're playing like Battle Fleet Gothic on one table.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people are playing that, and it affects what's going on like an actual 40k game
Yeah,
on the table next to it.
Like you're fighting up in space, and that kind of has effects on what happens. Like every time a ship gets destroyed, debris fall down on the table and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like whoever has superiority over space could like fire off a orbital bombardment shot or something like that.
We should do like this crazy campaign like that, and do it over hotel, and then just kind of talk about it on the show, because that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I think we're good on that topic. So our next one is hobby tip of the week. I said I would have one this week, so give me 2 seconds to think of one. Okay.
Don't have Savage on any shows.
No. My tip, I think we kind of gone over this before, and having like last week when we kind of talked about having a method, kind of like a system of how you paint. So I thought I'd just kind of go over that, kind of the thoughts on painting, and what helps me get through painting models. Obviously, I paint a lot, and it really helps me to get. When I first start a project, I'll paint a test model, and I'll keep painting a test model until I get it right. I mean, with my Space Wolves, I have 4 test models. I burned through 4 models just to get the paint scheme that I wanted. But when I found the one I wanted, I keep it on my desk, I keep it on my paint station to kind of inspire me. Because if I'm painting a model and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is not looking right. I don't like how this is coming out. I can look at that model and be like, but that's how it's going to look. I can kind of get excited again. And then when I finish that first unit, I'll display that first unit on my desk, and I can look at that and kind of get inspiration. I mean, right now I'm painting 29 Space Marine infantry all at once, and doing step by step on 29. Usually I just do it on 5 at a time. This time I'm doing it 29 at a time. I've already finished a Longfang squad, so I keep that one next to me, so I can kind of look at the Longfang squad and go, okay, I've done the armor. There's not much else to do until I get to that step, and it'll be done, and it's gonna look awesome. So that'll be my hobby tip: is have a system like we talked about last time, and then just have some painted models around you, kind of inspiration to keep you going. So that's my tip. What do you guys think about something like that?
I'll kind of add on to your one, is like having like painted models, not just paint. Like I have like a whole shelf full of like what Blood Angels I have assembled so far for the company, which every time I look at it makes me want to do more to it, like get them painted and stuff. So even if they're not painted, have them there. It gives you more incentive to paint them, because you just think,
yeah.
Well, it does.
No, I agree. It's just kind of funny. It's like you have it there to remind you, like, paint me. You like get home from work and you like look at it and you're like, fuck, I have to paint those. I just want to rest.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I do as well. I do just up there.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's always like a little reminder kind of thing. And here's a little story that I'm just gonna throw out there because I can. Is I have my models up on a shelf which is like probably like 1.5 meters high. I've got my guitar amp under there. It's like in my wardrobe, and then I've got my drawers for like all my clothes and stuff. And the other day I wasn't home, and I come home and there's Warhammer models like smashed to pieces on the ground from the shelf, and somehow my cat had managed to get up there. Not only up there, it climbed up the side of like my drawers, because it's like wire drawers, and almost knocked like a whole box of freaking Warhammer off there. I have no idea how it got there.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's second hobby tip is keep your cats away from your Warhammer, because the same kind of things happen to me with 2 of my commissions. Rob's Dark Angels and this Space Wolf commission. I've had basically painted models for my commission. They've been resting on something, and my cats jumped up near them or something like that. It just knocked them onto the ground. It's
same thing on my desk as well. So I've kind of like banned my cat from my room, because all she does is jump on my desk and smash models around.
I'm terrified we're getting a kitten on Monday.
Don't worry,
I'm
yours
really
is
worried
safe.
now.
It's like,
just,
unless it has a hover ability, it shouldn't be able to get.
Just every time it looks like it's going near Warhammer, I just kind of like spray it with a spray bottle or something, so it knows not to. Put the fair of Warhammer into it early.
Maybe get a kitten. You could put like a Squiggoth array on the back of it.
Yeah, so definitely train
I'm
those
just
cats
glad-
not to go near Warhammer. Our one loves Warhammer and just likes to. I think my wife has all her Warhammer in a little box, and cats love boxes, so the cat will just jump in the box of the Warhammer and just lay down on it.
I'm
It's
just
devastating.
glad that it only smashed like troops, because I have like 4 Storm Ravens, like a couple of tanks up there. I got my Storm Eagle, which took me like hours to put together because it's a pain in the butt to put together. I'm glad it was only like Assault Marines that got snapped in half.
So I think that brings us into the outro. So it's another episode done. Episode 15. It's yeah, kind of hard to believe that 15 episodes in. Yeah. So again, just all the same stuff that we talk about at the end of an episode. There is a donate button on the Dice True blog. You don't have to donate. Everything's gonna be free. We like doing it, but if you want to, you can.
And if you donate, we will buy a dancing monkey.
No.
Oh.
We already have you, Savage.
Yeah, you're a dancing monkey.
I know, but I want a friend. Someone who understands me.
In case you want a day off from being the dancing monkey, you need a backup.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, for everyone that watches, just thanks for watching. Our last episode got just a crazy amount of views, which we don't know why, but we appreciate it. So
we love all of you. Yeah.
If you watch the show long enough to get to the outro, thank you. Maybe we should have done that in the intro, just for the people that only watch half. But
Seb, you should name your cat Savage. Do it.
The cat's gonna be called Castiel, actually.
Castiel. Oh, Supernatural Castiel?
Damn straight.
Yeah. Carry on with the outro.
You couldn't have waited till after the show. Like we have like a minute before we end the show.
The whole world needs to know what Seb's gonna name his cat. Alright?
Okay.
It's really important.
So yeah. So anything you guys want to say? Shows that are coming up this week?
I don't think I've got anything on this week.
We got our mysterious. Oh.
Sorry, Savage. After you, sir.
No. Ladies first. Kidding.
So I'm pretty sure we still have what's it called? Table Talks Monday. I think I might be on that actually, because I don't know if it's this Monday that I'm going to be on, but I know that Rob's not going to be on one of the Table Talks episodes, so it'll be me and Corruption Points. So so watch
I've
how.
been pushed out of that.
What's that?
I thought it was gonna be me and Corruption Points, but apparently not.
Well, that's what I was told. I mean,
no, I'm fine. I'm just being petty.
So yeah, I mean,
I think that's the main thing on this week, isn't it? It's Table Talks. I don't think there's much else on.
We
got Black Falls in a couple of weeks.
I think Rob's just trying to cause trouble by telling people that they can be on shows, and then it'll double books. He's trying to cause a rift.
It's probably Toxic. It's probably Toxic that did it. He's like, no, you don't want Seb on there. You want me.
Maybe we can do we'll do a 3-person episode. I know. We'll have to
Anyway,
for that.
I'm being silly. Do you remember once upon a time we were ending this show?
Wait, no, Freud was right. Wants to know what mysterious thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about Minor Toxic's mysterious tactics video.
Yeah, that never happens because I say it every time. I just stop talking about it now.
Yeah, and Seb keeps talking about a game of 40k between you two, and someone doesn't end up doing that either. So don't just shift everything onto me.
A tactics video.
Let's just air all the dirty laundry for the end of the show.
Video is different. I've actually been doing tactic stuff in article form for the blog for Dice Troop. I've also been doing top 5 units in army lists, and eventually that's going to build up to a top 5 units in the game, and then I'm going to do worst 5 units in army lists, and I'm going to do worst 5 units in the game. So
I think someone was requesting you do some chaos. For the
yeah,
next
we
5.
got someone's asked for chaos, someone's asked for nids. It's all coming. So yeah.
Just like that tank.
Okay. So we're going.
Thank you.
We're getting out of here. So thanks for watching.
Tally bye.
Peace out.